Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rome Business Radio. This is the Manco Logistics Show, Moving Freight with Manco. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio, and we are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. We are joined this morning from Manco Logistics Corporation by the National Director of Sales in the Jacksonville, Florida branch, Jaden Bratton. Hello, Jaden. How are you?
Doing well, sir. It's always nice to see you. Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Happy Friday. As we record this, and we are in a Zoom room because I am in the corporate headquarters in Rome, Georgia. Jaden, you are in Jacksonville, Florida at the branch office there. And our guest today is Martin McLeod with GreenWaste Recovery. And Martin, you guys are based in San Jose, California. Is that correct?
That is where we're at.
So with the time difference, you've joined us very early this morning, your time. So thank you for doing that.
Not a problem.
How are things in California this day?
We actually have a lovely day here today. Should rather be anywhere but the office.
Well, so are you, I guess that's kind of the first question. How has the pandemic affected you and where you need to be? Can you work remotely in your capacity? Let's see. You are the carpet recycling operations manager for GreenWaste, and we'll get into some of the details, but have you been able to work remotely, or have you had to be in the office?
It's been mostly in the office. There's a few days I can work from home, but generally operations, I like to be here. I like to see what's going on. I like to have my hands on things. So I prefer to be in the office.
And Jaden, other than GreenWaste being a customer of Manco, how did you and Martin connect?
We've actually been working together, in a freight partnership aspect for several years. We've kind of developed into friends, pretty quickly. I think that we're both a similar personality type, and we've just had a great relationship working together for a long time. I mean, everything can go south at some point, but so far he's still agreed to hang out with me.
Martin, he said y'all have similar personality types. I don't know if I should be scared for the rest of the show.
I don't know if I want to get lumped into that, but okay.
Okay. So Martin, talk to me, give me some GreenWaste Recovery 101. What is it you guys do? I've hit your website, recycling, sustainability. What is the core mission of what you guys do at GreenWaste?
They started out, there was 3 gentlemen in the early 80s that started out wanting to just get into the yard waste business. They basically came up with a plan. They submitted it to San Jose, and the city approved their bid. So after that, they had to go out, buy equipment, find a place to put it. They literally started from scratch. Since then, it's grown exponentially. We handle yard waste now for San Jose, for Atherton, other surrounding communities in the greater San Jose, Silicon Valley area. We handle recycling for same greater Silicon Valley area. We've gotten into eco waste. We've gotten into e-waste. We've gotten into, obviously, carpet recycling now. But they keep branching out. They keep doing a little bit more. It's actually a pretty exciting company to work for. We're looking at going into Northern California now. So it's continuing to grow. I came in at the right time. It's been a great opportunity. But their mission is to do things the right way and do it as green as possible.
I was going to say, in this day and age, anything with green in the corporate name, you pretty much know where they're going with it. You said you came in at the right time. What did you mean by that? How long have you been there?
I've been with them 9 years in May. I was working for another company that was based out of Southern California. Carpet recycling's been kind of a rough road. First of all, when it started out, there was maybe 1 or 2 companies that were doing it, and there were very few resources to move the material. So in its infancy, it was very difficult to get anything going, to have a reliable component to it in regards to somewhere to take the material, steady supply of the material. Now that GreenWaste came on board with all the other attributes of the company, they've made it quite a bit easier to, all right, we're having a bad time. We need to move material this way. We need to move material this way. They've been able to help us in that capacity to grow and always have somewhere to reach out.
So your specific responsibilities involve carpet. As I guess I mentioned this earlier, carpet recycling operations manager. So that goes on in the world, but it's something I'm completely oblivious to. So you guys are in the business of carpet recycling. Tell me a bit about what you do specifically.
What we do specifically is we collect material here. We get it from landfills, large chain carpet stores, but basically it's all from California. That material comes to this location via roll-off trucks, via container trucks, dry vans. But we take all of that in. It comes to our place. We unload it. We have a plastic spectrometer that tells us what kind of plastic carpet is made of. And then we sort it based on that type of plastic. It gets baled, and then we broker it to different buyers
for recycling, repurpose,
Correct.
into something else down the road.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's a lot. Ford actually uses a lot of carpet in their car parts. So basically, the carpet gets shredded down, depending on the polymers, nylon 6, nylon 6/6, PET. Then it gets repelletized, and then they sell that to plastic manufacturers or chemical plants to turn it into plastic again.
So, it's funny. I'm sitting here thinking, so anytime a house gets remodeled and the carpet gets ripped out, where does it go? Hopefully it eventually goes to you guys somehow.
Yes, sir. Well, I would hope so. We try and put the word out to let people know it's a very viable option.
Well, I'm from the Southeast. One of the interesting things about this show is, customers are all over the country, and logistics and freight is a nationwide thing. What is obviously is California on the front end of green?
I'd like to think so. We seems like everybody's kind of following us. Washington follows what California does as far as green. Usually, it kind of goes that way. You'll see companies or other states take on what we're already doing.
Okay, but this is the part where I can also chime in and start talking college football smack, because we do dominate that.
Very good. Took longer than I thought it would.
I mean, West Coast football, please. So Jaden, what kind of, so Martin, I guess, Jaden, whoever wants to answer this, how do you guys work together? What is it, Jaden, that Manco provides for Martin? Martin, what is it that you need from Jaden and Manco?
We started working a couple of years ago together, and it started off where, kind of normal. He had been getting contacted, and Martin had a current issue at that time with their service provider. And, it was a lot of missed pickups and deliveries, communication, all of your standard, things you don't want from your provider. So Martin had reached out to me and kind of gave me a shot, and through getting some of the details worked out together, it ended up turning into a very consistent schedule, and developed a great relationship with his buyers, that he's brokering the product to. And so that also made things much easier for him on the other end, because now he knows he can trust me to do what I say I'm going to do, but also his customer has that same comfort level. So it kind of overlapped into a lot of good things, and that's why we're still working together to this day, and we're on this call right now.
Yeah, Martin, is most of it that Manco helps you with? Is it inbound to you, or is it after you've packaged it and you're selling it and Manco takes it out to your customers?
Generally, they handle the outbound, but Jaden's been very helpful when I have, I call them odd jobs. A lot of the material that gets to us, the companies that we take the material in from, they basically handle their freight, and that's in that aspect. I handle the outbound stuff. I try and let the other companies handle it as best they can. But in this circumstance, when we met, I had a couple of odd jobs where I was like, hey, I know this is kind of weird, but can you arrange for a flatbed to go pick up this over in this area? It's got to sit there for an hour. And he was always very reliable, go-to kind of guy. So it was right away, I liked him. I was like, I can count on them. And wherever he went, I'm going to follow.
So good. So that's great news to hear. Manco loves hearing that from its customers. So when your inbound stuff, is it all just California, or do you have inbound from other states?
Rarely we get stuff from other states. We just did, actually, oddly enough, we just did the Honolulu airport. So I know they ship material over here. They were desperate to get recycling. So yeah, they ship material over here, and we took care of that. But generally, everything we do is in California.
And what are your normal outbound routes and destinations?
Right now, that's kind of been a bit of a struggle just because, as you guys know for sure, fuel prices are up. There's fewer truckers on the road. Freight rates are up. We were sending some material to Georgia. We were sending some material to North Carolina. But right now, it's been locally, mostly in California and Phoenix, Arizona.
So, okay, how did I think you said you've been there like 9 years. What is your professional background? How did you get where you got?
That is an interesting story.
Well, this is a podcast. That's what this is for.
I actually, I lived in Idaho for quite a while. I was working in a sawmill as a saw filer. I met a girl on Facebook. She talked me into moving. I grew up in California, but she talked me into moving back. I came out here, not a lot of sawmills in the Bay Area. So my brother-in-law was doing, he had just started up this carpet recycling business. He needed an operations guy. I went through the interview process, and his partner group decided I was the guy. I've been doing it ever since. Okay.
When you say your brother-in-law, is this your sister's husband, or is this the brother of the girl you chased?
No. No. This is my sister's husband.
Okay. What happened to the girl? What happened to the girl you chased back to California?
She's married to me now, staying at home with the goats.
Martin, he's got a couple of goats, and I think that they're more like his kids at this point, because I'll shoot him a text on a Friday and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm out back with the goats." And he sends me a picture, and I'm like, "Oh, dang, that's awesome."
They're
an interesting guy.
So how does one become a goat owner, herder, shepherd, whatever it is?
You marry a wife that says, "I want all the animals all the time."
So do y'all have a lot of land?
Not a lot. It's an acre near Monterey.
So the goats just roam around the 1 acre?
I give them about a quarter of an acre. I've got plants I'd like to keep.
Okay, so sawmiller. With the fact that you guys aren't in retail, how do you guys conduct your business? Is it just word of mouth? How do you get your name out there?
Some of it's word of mouth, but being that we're on the internet, you were able to look us up. People that want to buy the material, look it up and just say, okay, who has carpet, who has fiber? I've done some stuff like on Alibaba, that kind of thing for overseas, but we try to avoid overseas because that's always a problem getting paid. But
oh, that's interesting.
A lot of the chemical manufacturers reach out to other plastic providers. So the plastic providers, the companies that process this, reach out to brokers to try and get more material.
So, like, what would be which hopefully Manco has solved? What are your biggest headaches in trying to get freight moved? Is it just unreliability, or?
Yeah, that's what it's been before, and that's why we went with Manco. I would have customers calling me saying the load didn't show up on time, drivers were rude. I'd have drivers come in here that wouldn't show up on time, loads that were days late, and it's inconvenient. So I prefer, I'm kind of a little bit anal, I guess, a little ADD. I want my stuff picked up when I want it picked up. And Manco's been able to do that for me.
So then with that peace of mind, you're able to do other things that you need to do during the day and not worry about that. I would imagine
100% true. Exactly. That's just one less thing on my plate is have to worry about, oh no, is my load going to get picked up today?
And how does that help you perform in your other areas? Like increased focus, better attention to detail, things like that?
Absolutely. And then there's other obligations that the MRF manager is asking me to take on. So I can kind of spread out into other parts of what the recycling company is doing as well. Gotcha.
Jaden, he mentioned odd jobs. How often do those things come along?
I think that they come along at their own discretion. I'd say a couple a year if I had to really pin something down. But those things usually, if it's not within our normal scope of practice with our, relationship with GreenWaste, we ask a couple of different questions more in depth. And, so we're basically having to get to know a new shipper and a new receiver, even though we're working with our existing customers. So it's a whole new concept. And for all we know, it might be something that we end up enjoyed doing, and we might end up focusing on trying to go out and seek more of that type of business, or we reach out to a certain carrier company that we wouldn't normally come across, and perhaps that carrier does a great job for us. Well, now we've just added one more great relationship for us and what we do, and we took care of Martin's needs. I mean, there was one time he called me and said, "Hey man, can you get me a flatbed to go pick up a golf cart?" And I was like, "Dude, what the heck are you doing recycling a golf cart?" He's like, "No, idiot. We're using it to drive people around the facility." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. That makes way more sense."
Something like that, yeah.
So is most of it just traditional dry van, outbound? Nothing has to be done special because it's recyclable, or is it just kind of traditional freight?
It's just traditional. You might want to clean up the dry van a little better so you don't have dirty carpet in it. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much.
And how do you find you mentioned that it comes from landfills and all that. How do you find it all?
There's an organization that helps with that. They're called CARE, Carpet America Recovery Effort. They're actually based in Dalton, Georgia. It's made up of a lot of the carpet manufacturers and then an advisory board. So what they're doing in California, they have an employer responsibility. So the people that manufacture the carpet pay a small subsidy to people like me, brokers and processors. So this organization, CARE, goes out and spots trailers. They spot at different locations, landfills, some small carpet stores. So basically we get a lot from them, but we also have our own clientele. We have a sales and marketing rep that'll go out and find carpet for us.
You mentioned Dalton. Of course, our headquarters here at Manco is in Rome, Georgia. You know, that's just a short drive up the road to Dalton, not very far at all. The carpet capital of the world as they build themselves.
That's the place.
Martin, did you mentioned you had a sawmilling past and you chased a woman back to California, but when did you discover your love for carpet and recycling it?
Love strong. I mean, it's fascinating. It's starting out in the infancy and watching it grow and watching it develop to where we had struggles where there's basically 4 polymers that carpet are made of. You have nylon 6, nylon 6/6, PET, and PP. There was times when we could only move nylon 6. So we were taking 25% of the carpet that we were selling and landfilling 75%. We're at a point now where we're landfilling virtually nothing. My landfill is now probably, my residual for last week was 15% of our total inbound. It's never been like that. So this to me is finally a time that I've been waiting for 9 years, where everything is moving, all products are moving on all fronts, and literally our only waste are the small pieces, a little bit of scraps, and whatever little bit of trash they put in the dumpsters. But other than that, or the trailers, other than that, everything is really firing in all cylinders. So for me, for Wes, the sales and marketing rep, this is what we've been waiting for. This is really a good time for us.
Well, that's actually great news. Love hearing about businesses hitting their sweet spot and growing and all that. How big a company is GreenWaste? Like, how many employees do you have? Things like that.
Oh, good Lord. Between all the divisions, I would say probably 5,000.
Wow. Okay.
It's a good sized company. Yeah.
And how big is your division?
Small. To say I'm like a pimple on a gnat's ass. We've got I've got 4 guys that work for me. I got a sales and marketing manager, and then there's me.
And then there's you.
Yeah.
Martin's kind of the go-to guy out there with a lot of other different projects and divisions. Just, over the years of us working together, I mean, it's been really interesting, and I've really enjoyed watching his company grow, and all the new things that he just discussed. He's mentioned those to me a year ago or 2 years ago or whenever. So it's awesome to see that growth, together. And I've also, made progress, and with our company here at Manco, he's gotten to see it go from when I was working on a foldable Walmart table in my office, and it was me and one other guy, and now we've got our 4 branches and all of our employees that we have. So we've done that together. And he's also, like I said, the guy everyone goes to. I mean, that guy. What time do you say you get there? At like 3 a.m. every day?
I get up at 3 a.m. I get here between 4:30 and 5.
There you go.
Wow. And how late do you stay?
Usually about 3 p.m.
Yeah, well, that's a long day. And do you need to do that to be? I was going to say, do you have to kind of schedule your shift that way to be on time with the rest of the country because you're California based, or is it more about what you got to do daily?
That doesn't hurt, but being that garbage starts so early, those trucks are on the road early, and I help out in other aspects of our recovery facility. So I just like to be here early if they need me. And it helps to have a little bit of quiet time, get your emails caught up, that kind of thing.
Garbage starts so early. I never thought about it, but of course it does.
Yes, sir.
This is a silly little question, but I just kind of want to have a little fun. Over the years, you must have seen some really ugly carpet come in.
I don't even want to start. People are disgusting.
Well, I hadn't even thought about that. Just dirty, nasty carpet from spills and stains and what have you, but just ugly carpet, like 1970s shag or what have you, different colors. Like, what do you got for me? Give me a story.
We've got some avocado green. It matches your refrigerator. Come on. We got the good stuff.
It's like Brady Bunch.
Exactly. We've seen some really old shag pile that actually was made with the hemp backing. Big yellow pile, probably, 1.5 2 inches. Oh, it's stunning.
Have you ever, again, I'm digressing. Have you ever visited Graceland in Memphis, Elvis's home?
No, sir. I haven't.
Well, what's interesting is I would tell anybody going on, it's fantastic if you like Elvis, but the house is smaller than you think. It's a big house, but it's smaller than you think. But they preserved it basically from when he passed away in the 70s. So it's got glamour to it, but it's also got 1970s to it. It's got
big stamp.
It's got nice furniture and a great dining room table, but then there's carpet, and then there's in his pool table room. There's like felt up the side, across the ceiling and the walls, and so yeah, it's a time machine, definitely. So it's funny you start mentioning shag carpet. I think of Graceland and the Brady Bunch. I don't know why.
That's exactly what it is.
Do you ever save any of it and just keep it in your office there?
No, sir. No.
And so, I appreciate your time. We're coming down the stretch here. So, what's the plan? Just keep doing what you're doing, and you guys are still growing, and the goal is just onward and upward.
Sure. The company, they're still growing. They're expanding. They're looking at new markets. They're looking at opening new recovery facilities in different parts of California, even looking at the potential of Oregon, Washington. They're going to continue to expand. My department is the same as you're talking about the shag carpet. We might have a bit of a timestamp in regards to not a lot of people put carpet in their homes anymore. So I'm also looking at different avenues in the recovery facility. But for right now, we're doing pretty well. I plan on continuing to do this as long as they'll have me, and branching out into other parts of GreenWaste as the opportunities arise.
Well, what was you mentioned sawmilling, but what business, I guess, skill set served you the most in your current job? Did you have to get educated in something, or? Yeah. I was always strong in math. I was always strong in English, so that helped quite a bit. But it's basically having to learn the stuff on the computer, Microsoft, PowerPoint, Excel, that kind of thing. Once I got more adept at that, it became quite a bit easier. But my brother-in-law was a computer engineer, so he helped me quite a bit. Right, and then you just it was funny you started mentioning a little while ago the different types of carpet, chemical, fiber, or whatever. You sounded like a chemist to me with what you learned. But the fact is, the point of that story was you used to be able to only to keep and recycle I think you said 25%, but now your number is it's which I guess is the whole point, is to continue to grow and recycle and things like that. Absolutely, yeah. So Jaden, tell me about your relationship here with Martin and how we hope it continues to grow.
Like I said, and we've got a pretty decent amount of history together. I intend to continue to do things the right way and be the person that he can go to when he's got the normal jobs as well as the odd jobs, as long as it's not any of that shag carpet stuff. But just being there and being the people that he can call when he's in a pinch. I feel like if that's the service that we can offer and that helps him in any way, then I'm certainly hoping that we can continue to have the opportunity to do that.
So Martin, how can people learn more about what you guys do? If you'll provide the website or social media or whatever, what's the best way for people to reach out to you and maybe learn more about GreenWaste or reach out to you directly?
You can certainly go to our website, greenwaste.com. There's multiple tabs. You can click on the carpet recycling tab. You can tap on any of the other divisions we have. There's Zanker Recycling. You can look up that. That's actually another division of ours. They're a C&D recycler, one of the largest in Northern California.
C&D meaning?
Construction and demolition recycling.
Okay.
They actually process and same thing. Their residual rate is about 15% of all C&D that comes in there, which is unheard of in that industry. We have Zanker in Sacramento. We have GreenWaste in Palo Alto. There's a lot of avenues, but if you go to greenwaste.com, you can look up a lot of information about us.
Fantastic. Jaden, if people want to reach out to you at our Jacksonville branch as Director of National Sales, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, as always, they can go to our website, mancolog.com. We've got a couple of different branches they can pick from if they are looking for something regional. And if they have any sales questions or inquiries, they can look at our contact tab. That's got my direct email at sales@mancolog.com.
Fantastic. Well, Martin, we appreciate your time. Any final thoughts that you want to share with us from GreenWaste?
No, just let's keep it green, keep recycling, and do good for the planet.
And for you kids listening out there, you can always chase your dreams by following a woman.
Oh, geez.
Right, Martin?
Worked out for me.
All right. Thank you.
We should all do it.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. You have been listening to the Manco Logistics Show, Moving Freight with Manco. I'm Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. Thank you so much for listening.